Marked rooms are finally back on Escape from Tarkov PVE, and today I'm going to cover which ones you should actually be opening if you are going to spend your money on picking up the marked room keys. So let's, without further ado, get into exactly what's actually occurred. So essentially what's happened is that we have seen that the marked rooms have actually got buffed majorly to the point where the loot within the marked rooms is really good. You can pick out multiple key cards in the rooms whenever you do actually open them. From a raid on streets that we did recently, so literally the last raid that I played on the game, we picked out a green key card, a yellow key card, and we picked out a black key card, a Bitcoin. What else did we get? We got some posters. I have no idea if these are worth anything, so not particularly, at least at the moment in time, about 60k each. We picked out a key card case, a key tool. We got ourselves, obviously, a 21WS, but that could have been a normal key card. We got some weapons, and of course, you can pick up tigers as well. For a little bit of a breakdown, I have done 2 raids previous to this one where we picked up a black, well, 2 blacks, a blue, a yellow, a green, 2 violets, a load of rare loot as well, where we did hit up the relaxation room on streets. We picked out a key case that we actually found. We got multiple ammo boxes. In fact, I got 4 ammo boxes, I believe, and I put one of them in my stash. We got a key tool, dog tag case. We got the Together Killer anime poster, and so yeah, a lot of stuff. And of course, we got 2 tigers within the room as well, which have come down insanely in terms of how much these things were. These were like 14 million rubles each. They're now 450k each. So you're seeing huge changes to the price of the items. And for example, a black key card about a week ago was worth about 7 million rubles, anywhere from like 5.8 to like 7 million rubles. And we've currently got them listed, and tons of them, up for 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 million rubles. Now, anyone listing these key cards at this moment in time is probably not thinking ahead to the point where this loot potentially gets nerfed, because I can't see that BSG are going to keep the loot as it currently stands within marked rooms, unless, you know, it will probably get changed at some point later on down the line. So selling your key cards for 2.3 million rubles, probably not worth it. And considering that black key card is just so good anyway, where you could make your money back when you ran it, when it cost you 700k per run, running it at 2.3 million is also a really useful thing. So you can go ahead and purchase the key cards yourself. So I'm going to purchase up a ton of these black key cards just because they're the one that I use probably the most every single time that I do run labs. So I'm just going to buy a load of them, and they'll probably end up going back up in price at some point later on down the line. So there we go. We can then just drop those into somewhere like, I don't know, I'll find somewhere later on down the line, but you can see we picked up a load of black key cards. Similarly, you'll also see that the green key card has come down in price. You can see it's sat at around 1.8 million, at which point I am actually going to buy a load of these as well, because it's like 200k to get into the room, and you will 100% make your money back on the openings that you can do on like 200k. Like genuinely, you'll make it back with like 3 or 4 stims that you find within the room. So I'm just going to actually spend some of my money here and go ahead and buy some of these ones up. We'll do a little refresh. I'm sure someone will have listed even lower, 2.1 million. There you go. We'll have that one. Do a little refresh. And because so many of these are entering into the game, you can pick these things up really cheap. So there you go, a ton of black key cards. And we can just go ahead and do this for all of the key cards in the game right now. And the reason why you'll probably want to go and actually buy the key cards as opposed to running the marked rooms is because if we take a look at the Dorm's marked room key, now this was previously around 28 million rubles to be able to pick this one up. Now, as you can see, a 1 out of 10 use 314 marked room key, which is required for a quest, is 9 million rubles. And if we hover over on to the next few pages, hang on a minute. 50 million rubles. Yes, this is why you do not want to actually open up the marked room keys, because to be honest with you, you're probably not going to make your money back, because you would have to average about 5 million rubles, or at least like 2 of the high tier key cards in the game right now. on average every single run, just to make your money back, which yes, you probably can make money even at buying it at 50 million, because the key cards are going to sell for about 2 million on average each. And so yeah, you can make your money back over a period of time, but maybe you get unlucky, you don't get any key cards in one room, so you can lose money. Of course, the loose loot in the rooms, things like key cases and stuff, do have a value to the barter trades, but a lot of that stuff has come down in price, so you can definitely make your money back when you're running into the marked room keys as they currently stand. Similarly, the ones that I would actually recommend for you guys to actually open are the Abandoned Factory. This one is costing, when I checked a minute ago, was about 20 million rubles, and I get about 1 to 3 key cards every single time. Like every time, most of the time it's 2 key cards. Yeah, you're essentially spending 2 million per run, so as long as you get 1 key card, you're making your money back. Remember, you can't Alt F4 on the streets, which is why these are so useful for people to actually run. As long as you know streets and stuff like that, you can make your money back. And even if you open up the room, no PMCs push you when you're in the room, so a lot of the time you can just put it in your back, like your essentially secure container in a pouch, and you've secured your money for the marked room. If you die, it's fine. You can just run in with a pistol if you really want to, go to the marked room, open it up and get that out. Of course, if you want to loot up relaxation room, it's directly across from where the what's it called, the Abandoned Factory key actually is. And then I also hit up check 13, which is roughly around 18 million rubles, something like that, when I checked a second ago. So yeah, 18 million roughly is what you're going to pay for a 10 out of 10 used key card. So 1.8 million to enter the room. And of course, you can get multiple key cards. And in fact, every room that I've opened in check 13 has had at least 2 key cards, alongside a ton of other loot that you can pick up and put in your back pocket. Of course, if you get taken out, once again, you can just drop that stuff directly to, if you want to transit as well, you can do that. So if you want to just continuously farm Abandoned Factory, what you can do is you can essentially just run directly to the transit location, to ground 0, go through there, and then transit back to streets, and it's going to save you some time. And of course, you'll spawn near to where you actually spawn for the marked room as well. So you can hit up relax. You can then drop off your stuff with the transit back to, for example, your stash. Just make sure to take in money. So take in like 200k rubles with you. And then you can essentially drop everything back to your stash from the transit. And that way you can just continuously farm Abandoned Factory, relaxation room. And if you're doing that method, I wouldn't recommend check 13 because it's on the other side of the map. So you're going to have to run over there to run back. And oftentimes you'll just hit up abandon, relax, then check, and then go to like collapse crane extract, which makes more sense. But for continuous farm of relax and Abandoned Factory, you just use the transit, which is something I'm going to be doing. There's a video that I did recently which was doing exactly that, so you can go check that one out if you're interested in farming the Abandoned Factory and the relaxation room continuously during this time period where the loot is mega buffed. And so yeah, I really do recommend actually jumping on, potentially buying up some of the key cards, because they are going to be cheap and probably the cheapest you'll see in a while, because everyone is farming this at this moment in time, hence why I've gone out and bought a load of the key cards. And in fact, I should probably buy some more, considering how cheap these ones are going to be. Even the blue key card, you can see 700k. That is ridiculous how cheap the blue key card is. So we'll get that one. Of course, it's probably the least useful one because you only open it when you see red key card, but even a red key card is 1.99 million. And of course, we are going to pick up some of these ones as soon as we see them come out. I believe you can we search uses? 10? No. Okay. Anyway. You can just continuously refresh. They come up really cheap. You can snipe them off the market for way cheaper than what the people are listing them for. But you can see, even if you were to get 2 red key cards every run, you still just about break even from Dorm's Marked Room Key. That's why I would recommend picking up the Abandoned Factory in check 13. And it's going to cost you the same, if not less, about 10 million less, to run both of those keys 10 times than it would to run the Dorm's Marked Room Key. The Dorm's Marked is probably the biggest noob trap out of them all. It's just that people can Alt F4, which is why the price is inflated. Just learn streets. This is a fantastic time to learn, and of course you're going to make a ton of money whilst doing it at the same time. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like it and of course subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great rest of the day. Goodbye.